All of the porn that you watch belongs to one company. For most people, it starts the same way. You're alone, scrolling through your phone or computer, looking for something to kill the time. You type in 4 letters into the search bar, click on a link, and within seconds you have access to millions of videos from every genre, every niche, every possible thing your mind could think of. It feels like an endless ocean, millions of creators, thousands of studios, countless uploads. What if I told you that almost everything you're seeing, everything you're clicking on, and everything that you think is coming from different sources actually belongs to one company? Not just the videos, not just the websites, but the entire system, the money, the traffic, the ads, even the algorithm that decides what you see next. And for years, they've been making billions of content they don't even create. This is the story of how one company, Mindgeek, took over the adult industry, destroyed its competition, profited off stolen content, and now holds more power over human desire than any company in history. And the craziest part is, almost no one thinks about it. If you wanted to watch adult content, you either paid for DVDs, subscribed to exclusive websites, or stumbled across low-quality clips on sketchy forums. At the time, the industry was massive, but at least it was decentralized. Hundreds of studios, independent performers, and pay-per-view sites, all competing in their own way. Then entered the tube sites, platforms that were just like YouTube, but for adult content. First, it seemed like a revolution. Instead of paying for content, suddenly everything was free. Websites like YouPorn, RedTube, and Pornhub appeared almost overnight, allowing users to stream full-length videos at no cost. Viewers were thrilled, but the industry itself was bleeding money. Studios that once thrived off subscriptions and DVD sales now had their content stolen and re-uploaded for free. Performers who once made their living from exclusive sites saw their works pirated, passed around like it was nobody's property, and the industry was collapsing. But instead of fighting back, a single company saw an opportunity. The company was Manway, later renamed Mindgeek, a business that no one had heard of, but would soon control everything. Mindgeek didn't just run a few websites, they started buying everything. They first acquired RedTube, and then they grabbed YouPorn, and then they purchased Brazzers, Reality Kings, and most of the major studios that had once been their competition. By the time people realized what was happening, Mindgeek owned Pornhub, the biggest adult site in the world. But this wasn't just a power move, this was a monopoly forming in real time. Mindgeek didn't just control the websites that people watched content on, they controlled the content itself. So if you were an independent studio, you had two choices. 1. Sell your company to Mindgeek, or 2. Get buried by the algorithm. Because the real power wasn't just in the videos, it was in the views. Mindgeek controlled Traffic Junkie, the biggest advertising network in the adult industry. If you wanted people to see your content, you had to pay them for an ad space. If you didn't, your content would never get recommended. It was like a digital mafia, not with guns, not with threats, but with search results and algorithms. The worst part is that they didn't even create the content they were making billions from. At first, no one seemed to care. Viewers got free content, studios found a way to survive. Performers kept working. But behind the scene, Mindgeek was running one of the most controversial operations in human history. For years, they were profiting off of stolen videos, pirated films, and even non-consensual content. The system was simple. Anyone could upload. There was no verification process. Even if someone complained, the video would stay off for days, weeks, or even months before being removed. Just long enough to make money off it. The company turned a blind eye to thousands of cases where performers had their videos stolen, leaked, and uploaded without permission. For Mindgeek, content was just content. It didn't matter where it came from, as long as it brought in views. Then in 2020, everything changed. For years, no one questioned Mindgeek's business practices. People just accepted free content was an infinite resource, something that didn't need to be paid for, something that had no cost. Then in December 2020, an explosive report by New York Times exposed the dark side of the industry. The article revealed that Pornhub was hosting thousands of non-consensual videos, including content featuring minors. Overnight, the world turned against it. Visa and MasterCard immediately cut ties with them. Lawsuits started piling up, governments began investigating. Major brands refused to advertise. In a panic, Mindgeek deleted over 10 million videos overnight, wiping out 3/4 of Pornhub's entire library. For the first time, Mindgeek looked vulnerable. And then the CEO stepped down. And now you think that after a scandal like this, the company would collapse. But there's the thing, they didn't. Mindgeek still owns nearly everything. The company changed hands, with new executives taking control. But the monopoly still stayed intact. They still owned Pornhub, Brazzers, Reality Kings, the biggest ad network in the industry. And as AI and deepfake technology improve, Mindgeek is poised to take control even more. Imagine a future where you don't even need real performers. AI-generated videos could replace human actors, removing the need for studios entirely. Imagine the industry where every search, every trend, and every craving is shaped by one company's algorithm. At that point, the question isn't who owns the adult industry, it's who controls human desire. Because when one company owns the platform, the studios, the ads, and even the algorithm decides what people see. So, are we really choosing what we want, or is someone choosing for us?